how did you prepare yourself for this? I'm sure there were loads and loads of steps. Personally, I'm a last-minute person, and I waited until the very last minute with my own trip. But maybe it was different for you.
So talking about physical preparation, it's like very simple. We did nothing.
Okay.
So the thing, and we did nothing on purpose because we wanted to show to people like it's not a question of physical preparation. Because most people were like, "Oh, I'm not that sporty. I cannot do it." No, it's not a question of physical preparation. I will not lie and say that we are not sporty guys. Mm-hmm. Like we love all of us doing sports, but I personally contain myself to not do as much bicycle before the trip, so that I can just deal with my body during the trip. And actually I had some knee issues at the beginning of the trip, and I had to deal with that. But we just started by small steps and make steps bigger and bigger, and then it was okay. So in terms of physical preparation, nothing at all. And it's just to show that it's not a question of being Superman or Wonder Woman.
So, herzlich willkommen zu einer neuen Folge, einem neuen Eintrag in das Diary of Volunteers on Earth. Es handelt sich bei diesem Eintrag um den letzten, den ich während meiner Reise aufgenommen habe, und zwar in Südkorea am World Scout Jamboree, am Weltpfadfinder-Treffen. Und zwar mit 3 Franzosen, dem Florian, dem Antonin und dem Pierre. Und die 3 Kerle haben was ganz Besonderes gemacht, wovon ihr gleich ganz viel hören werdet. Aber zuerst noch ein paar Housekeeping Notes. Wie immer, schaut euch bitte die Shownotes an oder die Info auf YouTube. Dort findet ihr alle Informationen zu meinem Content. Dort findet ihr auch einen Link zu meinem digitalen Trinkgeldkassel, wo man was überweisen kann, wenn man mich finanziell unterstützen möchte. Teilt bitte gerne diesen Podcast mit all euren Freunden und Familie und sonst wem auch immer das interessieren könnte. Drückt auf den Subscribe-Button unten und gebt ein Rating auf YouTube ab, falls das nicht schon passiert ist, weil das hilft mir sehr viel weiter. Außerdem heute zum letzten Mal, weil das der letzte Podcast ist, den ich während meiner Reise aufgenommen habe, der Hinweis auf den Sponsor dieses DOVE-Eintrages, und zwar ist das die Versicherungsgesellschaft Dr. Walter. Ihr kennt es ja schon. Ich kann nur wärmstens empfehlen, wenn man eine Rucksackreise macht, wenn man autostoppend unterwegs ist mit dem Fahrrad, mit dem Motorrad oder irgendwo freiwillig aushilft, ein Au-pair macht, egal wo, Langzeitreise, deckt euch wirklich mit einer guten Reise- und Krankenversicherung ein. Und in diesem Fall kann ich Dr. Walter nur wärmstens empfehlen, weil vor allem das Produkt Pro Trip World alles abdeckt, was man braucht. Also ich zumindest habe mich sehr gut abgedeckt gefühlt und habe mich eigentlich permanent sicher und aufgehoben und gut aufgehoben gefühlt, und wenn wirklich einmal was war, war das auch überhaupt kein Stress. Also schaut euch bitte die Infos für Dr. Walter in den Shownotes an. Das war es aber auch schon vom Housekeeping. Ihr werdet es gleich sehen, wir haben diese Podcast-Folge in einem Studio aufgenommen, weil das Jamboree, das World Pfadfinder-Treffen, hatte ein eigenes Studio. Ich möchte aber gar nicht noch viel mehr dazu sagen und deshalb ganz viel Spaß mit Florian, Antonin und Pierre.
I'm here with the 3 guys who cycled. How many kilometers exactly? I don't know if you can tell because you're running a contest to see. But this will be published much later.
If we can trust you for the contest, we can say. So it's 15,606 kilometers.
606.
From Moisson to Saint-Mangan.
That's super impressive. So all the way from France to South Korea, we are here in the Jamboree studio, actually. I can't believe that that's a real thing. Unfortunately, there hasn't been broadcasted much from this studio due to various circumstances. To anyone out there who's not a scout, the World Scout Jamboree is the biggest scout event in the world. We have over 40,000 scouts here present, and I believe around 8,000 adult volunteers who are also helping on site, that everything runs smoothly and everything goes fine. But some things we can't control. And as of the time of this recording, we are actually, we have a typhoon approaching us and approaching the campsite. So tomorrow probably we're going to evacuate and people are going to leave the campsite. It's a bit of a bummer for me. I don't know, how do you guys feel about it?
We feel okay. I think after the snowstorm, after the sandstorm, after difficulties with dogs, with scammers, typhoon is okay.
Typhoon is quite okay. Like, yeah, we are just a bit worried that we hope that all the kids will enjoy the jamboree till the end, and that everyone will like still be having fun in Seoul. But like, yeah, we totally understand the situation, and we will try to help as much as we can, so the jamboree will work well.
And in a few weeks, it will be like a big story to tell
to others. Yeah.
Absolutely, it's for sure going to be. I mean, it's my 5th jamboree, and it's for sure going to be the most memorable one so far with everything that has happened. But yeah, I couldn't agree more. The most important thing is safety for the participants, and the kids are having a good time, or the young adults as we call them. And I think by talking to them over the last few days, most of them are really enjoying their time despite the heat and despite like some of the organizational mishaps. But we won't speak too much about the jamboree. I'm much more interested about your guys' story and your travels, and maybe one of you just wants to start by, or maybe you should all three introduce yourself first. What is your role in scouting, and how did you how did you meet? That would be the first one, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm Florian. I'm a scout leader in France. I was a scout leader during 5 years in a small city in France, in the countryside, north of France. Before that, I made a big trip by bicycle during 1 year. It was some years ago. It was in a road more south, so from France to Iran and then to Nepal to Hong Kong. I wanted to go back on the road. And when I learned that the jamboree will be in Korea, I was thinking that's a good opportunity because we can share it with a lot of people. We can give taste of adventure after COVID-19, after the lockdown. The road was really good too because it's North Road in Asia, so by Silk Road, for example, and it's a dream destination for bike tours. And so I asked to some people to join, and here are my teammates.
You found them basically, or they found you. How did you guys? What made you choose to join him?
So my name is Antonin. So I'm 22 years old, and I'm studying right now engineering, transportation engineering, and mechanical engineering actually. And so when I was 17, something like that, when I was a venture. My scout leaders changed, and Flo arrived in my troop. So Flo was my scout leader when I was a venture, and so we went on several camps together, and we had a lot of adventures together. And then when I became an adult, I became a scout leader with him. So we went on some camps also together, and for 2 or 3 years, I think, something like that, after COVID actually. I told him one day, hey, it's been a while since we went on an adventure together, and I was thinking of going on a New Year's Eve party by skiing or something like that. And he said, okay, yeah, maybe we should meet sometime, talk about something. I was like, okay, you have something in mind? Yes, I have. And we went in a restaurant, and he told me, okay, the next jamboree is in Korea. What about going there? And I was like, yeah, okay, yeah. And he was like, okay, what about going there by bicycle? I was like, fuck yeah. So my heart say yes, but my head was like, okay, take the time to think about it. So I took two weeks to think about it, and I was like, yeah, when adventures knock at my door, I have to say yes. So that's how I joined the team.
I'm gonna ask you about that later, but first, the third of the trio infernale, as they say in Italian.
Yeah, so I'm Pierre. I'm 23 years. I'm scout since I'm 13 years old, and I'm doing a master degree in marketing and management in Berlin. And the story is I took a gap year to do this project, and the story it's a little bit different because Florian and Anto put an advertising on social media in Instagram to say we are looking for some teammates to do this project. And when I saw that, I knew that I had to apply. Yeah, I had to apply, and
you felt the calling, basically.
Yeah. But I met this guy in 2018 during a camp because I didn't have a chief, so scout leader, yeah. So Florian said, yeah, Soissons is my city. You can come with us, and so yeah, we spent 3 weeks together, and that's it.
Okay. So it was almost a little bit random. Well, I wanted to ask you about the head and the heart thing, because I think that's something that is blocking a lot of people from going on big adventures. We were already talking a little bit outside about having plans, making like plans for adventures like this. I'm sure a lot of people out there, they are thinking, wow, it's so impressive. How do you have the courage? How do you manage to turn off what it says in your head a little bit and listen more to your heart? Do you have a trick?
I think if it's taste of adventure. One friend of mine, which is a former president of the French Society of Explorers, said the taste of adventure. There is several things in it. And there is capacity to take some risk, to be out of your comfort zone. And yes, I think we have all of three that. And to have that, just try to, on the weekend or on the vacation, 1 week, be something extraordinary for you. Not starting to go in the other side of the world by bicycle, but go hiking, go camping, go I don't know, climbing. Can give you a taste of adventure. And when you see and read maybe the stories of other people or other explorers, because most of the time it's not so hard, not so complicated. Yeah, it was long and difficult, but we didn't face aggression or car accident or wild animal attacks, so it was not so hard. Maybe people can think about this, but we didn't face this
kind of danger.
Kind of danger, yeah.
So basically, you're suggesting to start with like small steps, and everybody needs to find out, where is my comfort zone? Where does it end? And where does... I personally, I call it the growth zone. Where the comfort zone ends, your growth zone starts. And that's where you start to grow as a person, I think. And everybody needs to find that out for themselves.
And it's also like extending your comfort zone by gaining confidence, actually. Like as long as you go in the growth zone, then you grow your comfort zone, actually, because you are like, okay, like before doing this project, I never thought that I would like be able to cycle all around the world, and like now I know that I can do it. So like I think going on the next trip will be much more easier than going for this one.
Yeah. It was my first experience, and I never did a bike trip. So it was my very first time. I never did like for 2-day bike touring. So I had the opportunity and I took it. And also for me, it's like it's very trivial, but I'm afraid to die, to pass away. So before to die, I want to fulfill my life to a lot of experiences. So when I saw this advertising, I say, okay, I have to do it.
How did you prepare yourself for this? I'm sure there were loads and loads of steps. Personally, I'm a last-minute person, and I waited until the very last minute with my own trip. But maybe it was different for you.
So talking about physical preparation, so it's like very simple. We did nothing. Okay. So the thing, and we did nothing on purpose, because we wanted to show to people like it's not a question of physical preparation. Because most people were like, "Oh, I'm not that sporty. I cannot do it." No, it's not a question of physical preparation. I will not lie and say that we are not sporty guys. Like we love all of us doing sports, but I personally like I don't know, contain myself to not do as much bicycle before the trip, so that I can like just deal with my body during the trip. And actually I had some knee issues at the beginning of the trip, and I had to deal with that. But like we just started by small steps and make steps bigger and bigger, and then it was okay. So in terms of physical preparation, nothing at all. And like it's just to show that it's not a question of like being Superman or Wonder Woman.
Yeah, because to do 100 per day, it's okay. You have to ride 8 hours, and that's it. But
take your time.
the hardest thing is to ride every day.
Yeah. That's more a mental thing, right?
Yeah, yes it is.
So what about mental preparation then?
We did not do a specific mental preparation, but I think when we made the team when we choose the teammates, yes, we were aware that everybody will be confident about going in the next step and take care of the other too. And for the other things of the preparation, I was in charge of the road, the itinerary, and it was a big thing because there is two things to think about. It was how we can go to Korea because of geopolitical issues. There was a thin path to go. We can speak after about what we faced. And the other thing was to contact a lot of people to go through the countries, and so a lot of scout group to be hosted in Europe, for example, and we shared a really good moment in Europe. We were hosted every night across Europe, and the scout organization who can help us maybe to solve these geopolitical issues.
Let's just talk about that right now. Like, how did you plan your route, and what were some? Oh, I forgot to speak in this. Let's talk about the route. What were some of the issues that you faced? What were some of the harder problems, and how did you figure out your route?
So we had to find the route. To choose the starting point and the moment of the year we start, we made a schedule, and we saw that yes, with the 3 weeks of extra days, we need to start on January the 3rd. It's the winter, but okay, it's okay. We go, and so in Europe, no problem. We could go until the Black Sea without any issues. We crossed the Black Sea by boat, and after we arrived in the Caucasus. And in the Caucasus, the first issue we met was entering in Azerbaijan. We wanted to go to Azerbaijan because north is Russia, and south it's Armenia and Iran. And if we would have been through Iran, we would have been blocked by Turkmenistan, so it was useless. So Azerbaijan was really the only way. But the land border of Azerbaijan were closed. And I don't know if they are open right now, but they were closed. They said because of COVID-19, but
that's the land border between Georgia and Azerbaijan, right? Yeah.
Actually, they closed with Russia, with Iran, with Georgia, and and for us it was between Georgia and Azerbaijan. Yeah. So the scouts of Azerbaijan tried to help us a lot. They tried to have a special permission for us, but they need to have permission of some ministers and maybe the prime minister. So at the end, we said, no, it will. We don't want to wait too long, and it's uncertain. We don't know what can happen. So we took a plane from Tbilisi to Baku, but it's a really short plane. I think 40 minutes of flight, something like this. But because we are stubborn, we put the bicycles in a bus and we go back at the other side of the border. So we saw the checkpoint from Georgia and from Azerbaijan, and we chose to ride all Azerbaijan by bike.
Nice.
Yeah, it was the first geopolitical issue, and maybe the most important one. Somebody can describe.
The second one was how to enter in Mongolia, because from Kazakhstan you have to cross Russia or China to enter in Mongolia. So it was impossible to have China visa because they didn't give some Chinese visa in Central Asia because we think it's about Uyghur as Muslim minorities. So we had one option was to cross Russia, and it was very hard to get a Russia visa. First of all, we tried to have one in Almaty. We asked some tourism visa, but it was impossible because you have to apply in your home country.
Yeah.
So, but we could ask transit visa, and we did it, and it took 10 days to have it. So during this period it was very stressful.
Yeah.
And so we got it, and we took a train and after a bus. So it was very fast, and yeah, but
and we were able to enter in Mongolia by land, and it was, after that we were so happy because we didn't break the rule to stay in the land.
I had a similar experience when I crossed from Pakistan to India, because there they say you have to apply in your home country, and if you want to apply in Pakistan, you have to give a reason and you have to make like an informal letter, and they need 10 different documents, and I had to wait three weeks, I think it was. And so I was just like, okay, in the meantime, I'm not gonna worry about it. If I get it, I get it. If I don't get it, there's nothing I can do. I'm just gonna enjoy northern Pakistan, and that's how I got around it. And in the end, it worked. I had to postpone my flight from India to come to Korea, but I already knew something like that might happen, so I got like a flexible ticket, so I don't have to pay more, I'm very proud of myself for that decision. And what was the third problem you faced in the end? Because your plan was initially also to take the boat from China to Korea, is that correct?
Yeah, it was. So first we had to enter in China, so entering in China from Mongolia was not an issue. Like we could get the visa very easily, like as you can get it in Vietnam, for example. And then we, all the way, like I think from Ulaanbaatar, we were contacting, maybe before, so we were contacting boat companies on the way and trying to get in a boat. But from COVID-19, like they didn't reopen the passenger section of the boats. So there is only like the merchandise, boats that are going on the sea. And we were a bit disappointed about it, but we thought, okay, if there is some goods like going from Korea to China and from China to Korea, maybe there are also sometimes some trucks, and with the truck drivers, they have to be in a cabin, so maybe we can like step in a boat as we did on the Caspian Sea and on the Black Sea. So we sent some emails. We also contacted the mayor of Dalian. We had like some contacts everywhere actually, even in the Chinese migration. We knew someone who could ask, and everyone told us the same answer. They will reopen it like maybe in few days, maybe in few weeks, maybe in few months. We don't know. So it was like kind of for us, we were very disappointed about it because we had to cycle all the way and like not knowing if we could be able to take a boat or not. But we cycled till Dalian, which is very close to South Korea, and from Dalian we like packed the bicycles and we took them in the plane, and we could go to Korea. But it was not as simple as I was describing, because actually we had to put the bicycle in the box. We also put some luggages in the box so that we could have only one luggage going, like one big luggage going in the plane. But when we arrived at the airport, they told us, okay, your luggage is oversized. So we had to like unbox the bicycles to wrap it with plastic films, and then they told us, so we will pay an extra for these bicycles. And we're like, okay, how much is the extra? It was twice the price of the tickets. So we were like, okay, I hope my bicycle will be in a seat with me in the plane. And so they because of that we asked if they could give us back our like luggage and put the bicycle instead, and they were like, okay, we'll do that. So we took the luggage with us in the plane, and when we arrived at the control, we didn't thought about like we have lighters, we have knives, and we also have like sticks in case of like wild dogs or something like that. So we arrived and like they saw everything, and So we can say it now because like it's been so it will be maybe 1 month between
a few weeks,
few weeks of delay between the fly and like so we made some magical tricks and actually we were able to get in the plane without any knives, without any tools, without any sticks, but with benzene actually.
Really?
1 liter benzene because we have a small stove to cook. We used it a lot in Kazakhstan and in Mongolia, and because it was too long controlling, we like hid it because it's expensive. Like the small stove is it's very expensive. So like we hide it a bit in the other luggage, and like we went in the plane with 1 liter benzene. So like everyone is thinking like the control to go in an airplane is like so secure. It's not. It's not at all.
Don't try that at home, kids.
No, don't do that. and we got in the plane like something like 4 minutes before the departure. Like we were
really?
very close.
Wow.
Yeah, the time to unbox the bicycle was so long. So yeah.
So,
But we managed to.
but you managed to arrive. You got to see Bear Grylls, which I'm a little bit envious of, I have to say, being an adventurer myself. I was not invited to see him. No, it's all good. I wanted to ask you about other hardships that you faced. Was there ever times where you were like super down and you felt like, why did I even come on this stupid adventure? Like, how stupid was that idea, and how did you manage to get out of those holes, like psychological holes?
I want to talk about the first experience when I faced the death, and I think it's something we never told from now. So I have a kind of disease which is called Raynaud disease, and it's make me feel very sick when it's cold outside. Actually, my hands and my feet have bad blood circulation, so like I feel cold, and it's very painful for me to cycle under like snow and things like that. And back in Georgia, so it was like we had done like 3,000 kilometers, something like that. I remember one day we had to pass a pass up in the mountains, and it was snowy, and it was like very wet snow. Actually, it was not like solid snow, so we were like all wet and humid, and it was like very painful for me. And I remember going uphill and trying to to go till the destination, and I was like making the team slow down because I was the slowest because of this. And I remember turning back at one moment because it was too much snow, too much wet, and we were tired, and it was awful. And I remember like a bit crying on my bicycle going down just to go to a restaurant just to like warm up. And I asked myself like, what am I doing here? Like, why am I like supporting this? And they actually helped me a lot. And even the restaurant, like they gave us an extra radiator, I think,
Like a heater?
Yeah, heater, thank you, heater.
A radiator, I think, is good.
And so they gave us an extra heater, and we took time and we took rest. And so it was like, because thanks to them and thanks to like the help they gave me that I could like face that. And I think we always try to because we all have our way of how to say that
Coping with things.
No, I was thinking of we have some part where we are the best ones in the team and some part where we are not good.
Strengths and weaknesses, basically.
But and mine is like in cold. When it's cold outside, I cannot. But like when it was like flat and hot, it's not a problem for me. So like we were each of us like sometimes carrying the whole team, and like that was the thing that always kept the team going on, I think.
Nice. And for you?
Yeah. I don't think to give up, but one day I thought to leave the team because we spent 7 months together night and day, and sometimes it's very hard to be together. It was during Kazakhstan when we went to Russia, so a very stressful moment because we didn't know if we will have our visa. And one day I thought, I can't continue with them. I would really want to go to the Jamboree, but I took on me, and I thought if we don't arrive together, this is a failure. because we are scouts, so we have to be unit together. So we communicate. Yeah.
And we managed to arrive all three together. Like the trip it was not only going from France to Korea by bicycle, but much more like going as a team and to arrive as a team.
Yeah. How did you manage conflicts? Like you said, you had 7 months together. You're all different personalities, and I know in any sort of like, it doesn't matter if it's a romantic relationship, an adventure relationship, or any like a job relationship. There's always some potential for conflict, and it has to be managed. So, how did you handle that?
I think yes, when we had a fight, there is only a fight between two of us, and the third one most of the time say maybe we should stop and take some rest a little, and so sometimes yes, we didn't spoke between ourselves during hours or days, just time to think about it, and after yes, we were speaking each other maybe one to one without the third one to try to solve it, and yes, I think at the end we will still have our personality and our obsessions or something like this, but each of us try to go beyond and to find a way. It's something I tell to my boys when I was a scout leader. I quote. I tell the quotation of Thomas Pesquet, the French astronaut. He said about the team in the space station. They are selected about how they can manage a team, and they can take care of each other. Not only about brain, about skills of scientists, but about their abilities to take care of each other. And I think at the beginning we were by constitute the team. We were thinking about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's very important to be able to work in a team when you do a project or an adventure like this together.
It's more important than being a good cyclist, I think, actually.
Yeah, I bet. I want to ask you a little bit about your encounters with people on the road. Who were the most interesting people that you met in your 15,606 kilometers?
For me, the Philippe brothers, so les frères Philippe, it's French and Korean, and so they
are brothers.
They was born in France, but now they are migrate to Korea because her mother is Korean and their mother and their father is French. So they are in car, and we met them in Mongolia, but for there they travel since 2 years. So they had a lot of stories to tell, and they are French, so we can speak French, and it was very nice to meet French people in Mongolia after 5 months, and it was very intense because they are very linked, they are brothers, so.
And we became friends.
Yeah.
It was funny because we met them in Mongolia. In Instagram you follow some team like you, okay, and you see in the story, they are here. And when we were in Kazakhstan and Russia, we were thinking, maybe we get close to them, maybe we can meet them in the middle of nowhere, or something like this. And when we were in Bayanolgi, and the first city in the west of Mongolia, and when we saw their car, we went to them and we said, hey, you're the Philippe brother, you go to Mongolia, and we go to Mongolia to Korea by bicycle, and it was so funny and so nice to meet other explorers.
And also because they take like pretty much the same routes as we did, So like we could like exchange of different experiences on the way. And so like link with your question, I think Uzbek people were very interesting to meet, because Uzbekistan is I would say a 3-part country. Like there is the first part where we enter, which is deserts and like only running by gas. How to say that? Gas factory now. Gas factory. And so they like when I'm telling like it's gas factories and running by it, it's like there is a gas factory and there is a village like construct only for the gas factory. So like all the houses are the same. Everyone is wearing a uniform from the gas company, even in hotels. Like actually the hotel is owned by the gas factory, and it's just for like when people come to visit the gas factory. Like there is nothing else than the gas factory. Even cars run with gas. So like it's very, very like this part of the country is like pretty strange, actually, I would say.
Truman Show.
Yeah, it looked like the Truman Show, actually, yeah. And so, so yeah, this is the first part, and then you have the second part where you have
Yeah, we could have switched on the lights, but who cares?
So yeah, there is a second part of the country where there is like all the Silk Road cities, which are like very magnificent. Like yeah, it was awesome to visit that. And the third part is the Fergana Valley, which is like much more fertile. That there is green grass everywhere. And all along this 3 parts, you have 3 different types of people, very welcoming, sometimes a bit fearful of us, like in the part with the gas factories everywhere. They were a bit fearful to see us, like you should not be there. It's like the hidden part of Uzbekistan. And then we arrived in the Samarkand and like all the Silk Road cities, and there people were like super welcoming us because we were like white people, like willing to spend money on like. So they were thinking of only of that. And in the Fergana Valley, it was totally different. It was like we are like the French people, the white people, going where no one will be. And so they were like super surprised to have us with them. And we even like it was Ramadan, is it? How do you say Ramadan? Ramadan. Yeah, okay, Ramadan. This time it was Ramadan in the Fergana Valley, and so someone even like invited us to like eat with him during the nights. Nice. So it was like such an experience for us, and like we woke up at 3 a.m. for that, but it was such an experience, and we were like super happy about it. And he even gave us some Uzbek names, each of us. So it was I think Uzbek people was the most welcoming people we had, because we had some very close exchanges with them. And it was very interesting.
Yeah, it's a little bit similar to my experience in Balochistan, which is the area between Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Iran. And there also I got a nickname. Bulan is my Baluchi nickname. Yeah. And the same thing. People are so welcoming. They treat you. They treat guests like a gift from God. That's what they say. And I think it's with Muslim people in general, or at least in these areas. So yeah, I can only imagine that you must have had some very nice experiences meeting people there. How do you feel about having ended your trip? Because for me, I'm asking because for me, I'm having difficulties with the thought of going back home after this. Because for you, it was 6 months. I was on the road for 5 months. I just started one month after you guys. And it's a strange thought that you're going to go back to your own country and you're not gonna be on the road cycling. How do you feel about that?
I think I don't know. I don't realize right now. I don't know, because a few days ago, we arrived at the Jamboree, and since we arrived in Jamboree, we share a lot with a lot of teenagers, a lot of scout leader, a lot of IST, CMT, and we speak about the journey. We try to give advice, give taste of adventure, and we are really happy because a lot of young people say, yes, maybe for the next step I should go on the summer on vacation on bicycle, or maybe to the next Roverway or the next Jamboree I will go by bike. So we have really good vibes. And after the Jamboree, I think I will be 1 week more in bicycle to visit Korea. So I don't know how it will be at the end. I have 1 week off before going back to work. I hope it will be enough to go back on Earth.
For me, it's not the end. The end will be when I will see again my parents and my family. Like, come back to France and okay, this is the end. But I will stay like 15 days in France. So and after I will go back to Berlin to finish my studies. So I will not be again part of my family, of my life in France. And also, I'm happy to be here because I become again a student. I'm not a traveler anymore because I can speak French with French people here, and we have a deep conversation. So my mind changed, and also I will see my sister in 3 days. We'll spend time in Korea. So like a different zone before to go back to the normal life, but I'm afraid to come back. Yeah.
Same. And what about you?
Actually, something which is a bit disappointing for me on the whole trip is like I could not disconnect completely because I had to find an internship to come back to. So I always stayed connected to my like French life.
Sure.
So it will be a bit intense for me because like I will enjoy the Jamboree till the end, and then I have just 1 week before me coming back to France and the wedding of my sister, and then I have another week before just starting my internship. So I think I don't have a strange feeling, and I don't feel because I knew that everything was coming to an end. But I think the real feeling of like ending the project was because we slept actually 30 kilometers from here for the last night, and like when we did on the last day when we did these 30 kilometers, I was like nearly crying, I would say, because I was like, okay, enjoy, because it's the last 30 kilometers of the whole trip. Like this, the last time, like just going on the road with these two guys. And like just enjoy it. And I was very like nostalgic about like thinking of the whole trip. Actually, during the 30 kilometers, I was like passing each day in my mind. Each day we had the 220 days in my mind, just to like make sure that I enjoyed all the trip all the way along. So I think now it's just the time to move on, like to continue my French life. Even if like I know that from now on I will definitely go on another trip. I don't know when, but I will definitely go.
That's amazing. I'm getting goosebumps because it felt the same for me. You also came across the dam, right? The big dam. Yeah. I managed by chance because with hitchhiking you never really know. It's not like you have your kilometers. I mean, I'm sure you also have to go off schedule sometimes, but with hitchhiking you never know. And I ended up being on that dam for sunset. In the last ride I took 2 rides from the airport, and they took me all the way straight to the welcome center, and for me it was the same. Like, this is the last car ride, the last hitched car ride before you're gonna enter the Jamboree, and it was a very similar feeling. Yeah, crazy. What about? Let's stay with your trip here. I think you've spoken a lot about it. Unless there's anything else that you feel like you want to talk about still about your trip, anything else? I mean, I'm sure you have hundreds and thousands of stories, but we're just gonna talk on for hours and hours. But anything, maybe that's a good question. What was one of your biggest learnings in that journey?
I would say that I learned a lot about myself and like my limits and where are they and how can I go beyond, and I learned a lot about like how to travel properly. Actually, the experience of Flo like really helped us. Also, I knew that like for me, like learning a new language was like something big, and he showed us that it was not that hard. Actually, you just need to like go small step by small steps, and even just the politeness is okay. And so, I think it was just like how to say that, like just destroying my borders, my limits, and like this is the biggest learn I have from this whole trip.
I have to choose one. I think, yeah. So every people we met have like the same problem in life. We are together in the same way to, yeah. We have to manage the same problem in everywhere, and also, but yeah. I think I realized that we are all humans and
All trying to do our best.
yes,
Exactly. Yeah, all managing the same problems, but on different scales. It seems like, yeah, everybody has it on a different level. But in general, yeah, it's exactly the same problems. Yeah, I found the same thing. And you?
Me, maybe, I think I discovered that we face the same phenomenon, maybe in the whole world, and yes, we respond differently. For example, yes, globalization and the consumption society is spreading all over the world, and I think most of the time consumption society it's maybe the contrary of spirit of adventure. But I'm still optimistic because I realize that in every country, yes, of course, globalization, uniformization of the tastes, of the fashion, culture, yes, is spreading, is here, but there is still some way to escape, and I was really impressed, and I feel optimistic to see that in every country, in every big cities, yes, the cities are becoming bigger and bigger, but in every cities we met some people who are used to escape during a weekend, during some vacation, and don't stay just in the cities and still have the taste for nature and yes, it's something, yes, I observed in my first trip, and I observe more right now. So it's, yeah, kind of balanced feeling to be afraid about what happened to the world, but I'm still optimistic to see that people can go beyond this.
Awesome, yeah. It's a good message, I think. The Diary of Volunteers on Earth is the name of this
Mike.
Yes, Mike, thank you. He's more pro than me. The Diary of Volunteers on Earth is the name of this podcast. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about volunteering in general, as we are all scouts. Scouts is massively based on volunteering. Yeah. There's 8,000 volunteers out there in the heat, and like it looks like maybe in the rain soon. I hope your tents are closed.
I hope so too.
Where do you draw your motivation from? Because with volunteering, you're giving away your time, you're sacrificing your time to do something, ideally something good. Is that basically where you draw your motivation from, or where is it coming from for you personally?
I think it's when people thank you, when they say something kind, when the parents say something to the scout leader, when the kids say something to the scout leader, maybe some years after, when they become elder, when they realize that yes, it was really good for me, for my training, for my education. It's something what can help you, and when we give you satisfaction, and yeah, and maybe you can find your motivation about success and results. And I think we are right now in the second part of the mission of the CYCLODYSSEE, because our mission right now is to promote bike touring and give taste of adventure and give advice and find some successors. And we saw for the past few days that we will find some successors, and we will work, I think, for Poland 2027 on that. And yes, it's really motivational.
Yeah, for me, I receive a lot, and now I want to give back, because I was born in a good family. My parents love me, and my family are okay. And yeah, I grew up. My life is like kind of easy, and now I want to be like a sincere friends, good friends, good brother, good sister, and good son. And I want to be, when I spend time with someone, I want to be really here for my friend and my family. And I think I never be a scout leader, but now I want to be one, to spend a lot of time and yeah.
About me, I think it's something a bit in between also. Like it's always like as a scout leader, something I really love is also like the smiles and the energy that the boys and girls like are giving you back when you try to like make them fun, like living things fun, and like, or sometimes it's just like realizing their dream. And so yeah, that's something I love. Like I love to do surprises as a scout leader. Like sometimes they talk about something like they like, and like to realize that, and like at the end they're like, oh, you kidding, you very listened to what I said, and I was like, yeah, of course. And so yeah, it's something I really like. It's also a question of giving back, because when I was as a scout, when I was a small boy, my leaders always like tried to make to us like some very good camps, and I want to give this back to the kids. And it's also because my parents, in their way of educating, they always told me like I don't have any like obligation or something. I just have to do two things in my life: find my talents and give it to the world, and to be happy. And so that's how I build my life.
Nice, very well spoken. I don't know how we are with the time, but I think I will wrap it up. And I usually ask two questions at the end of the podcast. And the first one is, and you can answer separately, or if you want to, you can answer as a team, since you're here as a team. You can write a letter to someone in the world. Can be a person in the present, in the future, in the past. Who would you write the letter to? And what would be the content of that letter?
As a team, I would suggest to write a letter to Yelena, because she was the one who like helped us with the stats. They helped us to like build the team again when we were at the worst moment, I think, of the CYCLODYSSEE. Yeah. So I think like I would like write a letter to them. So it was two friends we met in Kazakhstan.
Okay.
And it was like just after we had a big fight together, and like they took care of us like if there was our father and mother. And like they also like we went on a hike with them for 3 days, 2 days it was, and I think I would write a letter to say thank you because we made it, and it's thanks to you, also thanks to you.
Beautiful.
You agree, yeah, guys?
Yeah.
Do you want to write individual ones too? You can if you want to.
If I have such a power, yes. I don't know. Maybe I would write to some adventure writer, like Jack London or something, somebody like him, because they inspired me a lot of time. I don't know the contents right now because there is so much thing to ask. But yeah, I like to read the story of the other, and I think when you were speaking about how you can think adventurous, and you can. I think you don't just spirit of adventure is just not living adventure or a stressful situation. It's maybe read some adventure to maybe if you can't do big things, you can still have the spirit of adventure in your job. On you to have this state of mind, you can read some adventure writers, and maybe you will have adventure in managing or in about your job, capacity to take some risk and to in industry or trading or everything. And yeah, it's just not a question of making some physical hard job.
Yeah.
Me, I would like to write to my grandmothers who passed away 2 years ago and 10 years ago, and say to them what I did. And yeah.
Nice.
I don't know if I had someone to write a letter because I always manage to say what I have to say at the moment. So I think I'm pretty okay actually. Or maybe I would write a letter to me of like 3 months ago and say, "Don't give up, boy. Don't give up."
Nice. Very nice. Actually, you would be surprised how many people choose to write a letter to themselves in the future or in the past. Yeah, it's very interesting. The last question is, what's your favorite bird?
Bird.
Yeah.
I think I can answer. I think the eagles from Mongolia and Kazakhstan. We met a lot of them. Kazakhstan, you see, the flag is blue with a golden bird with a golden sun, and it's really a good, accurate flag because we met a lot. And in Mongolia, it was huge. Yeah, sometimes we had 40, 50, 60 eagles.
Or falcons, it was, yeah. Eagles or falcons, but Mount Boeing. Below.
Yeah, the cities. So yes, we met a lot of them.
I would say the same, like eagles, yeah. And in Kazakhstan, it looked like it's very like close to the flag because there is only 3 things in Kazakhstan: sun, blue sky, eagles.
Me, I will choose. I don't know the name of this bird, but little one and blue like this. And
Like on the screen.
like very, very blue, and it was very beautiful. I think this size they are like that. Yeah. And sometimes he followed us. He followed us on the steppe of Kazakhstan. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was very nice.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look it up and see if I can find that bird. Awesome. We didn't go into a lot of detail about your stories, but that was also a little bit intentional because, like, can I already say that actually about your plans for the future? Yeah. There will be a documentary about your trip. There will be a movie. When and where, I think it's unknown so far, but if you're really interested, you can also follow these 3 guys on Instagram and check about their trip. What's your Instagram name?
So it's LACYCLODYSSEE, La CYCLODYSSEE, in one word.
I will show you on my back.
La CYCLODYSSEE. Ah, yeah, very good. And also, I think on TikTok, maybe? Facebook?
TikTok is in French, but it's okay. Polar Step, Facebook.
And YouTube, yes. Actually, in YouTube, there will be more video in September, October, because the last video is about Kazakhstan, and after this time, I was exhausted about editing video on the bike and under the tent without electricity. It was difficult to edit the video, but we have a lot of footage, and we will make a lot of videos. So on YouTube, some video about each country, each situation, and documentary. Documentary, maybe we will present, we will show in some scout event or festival in the cities of France, Belgium, Switzerland, maybe other parts in Europe. And we don't know, maybe we will do an American or African tour after.
You never know what happens. You never know what life has in place for you. Yeah, absolutely. Great. Merci beaucoup. Thank you so much for coming in, for telling us about your amazing adventures. And that's pretty much it. I think, unless you guys still have anything that you want to get out there on record.
Yeah, dream big and go for your dream.
Very great. Awesome.
C'est ça, glaube ich, sagt man auf Französisch. Das war's. Ich hoffe, ihr habt es interessant und spannend gefunden. Ich hoffe, ihr konntet ein bisschen was mitnehmen und lernen von den drei, auch wenn es nur dieser kleine Taste of Adventure war, von dem sie gesprochen haben. Ihr habt es ja gehört, sie haben sehr viele Begegnungen mit Adlern in Kasachstan und in der Mongolei gehabt. Aber Adler hatten wir schon einmal als Vogel, als Favorite Vogel im DOVE-Podcast. Deswegen habe ich ein bisschen recherchiert, was den Vogel von Pierre anbelangt, den er erwähnt hat. Ein kleiner, blauer, faustgroßer Vogel. Und ich gehe davon aus, dass es sich dabei um die Blauracke handeln dürfte, die es nämlich auch in Kasachstan gibt. Unter anderem auch im Südosten der Steiermark, für alle, die es nicht wussten. Und die Blauracke, die hört sich so an. Genau, und damit vielen herzlichen Dank fürs Einschalten. Noch einmal der Hinweis auf die Shownotes und die Infos und die Unterstützungsmöglichkeiten. Schaut sich das bitte an. Vielen herzlichen Dank. Alles Liebe. Bussis auf die Bäuche. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Much Peace, much Dove. Euer Jakob.